My next guest is going to be fighting in the main event against Brandon Moreno, UFC Fight Night, February 24th. That is right around the corner. It's Brandon Royval back here on the program. Brandon, how are you?
I'm doing good. And yourself?
No complaints. I'm not going to be fighting in a UFC main event. Obviously, you're replacing Amir Albazi. When did you find out about this fight? How did this all come together?
Like 5 weeks out. They actually got called one day and they're asking me if I wanted to be the backup for the fight. And I was like, free vacation? Like, might as well. I was like, might as well make weight, free vacation, get to watch the fights, and maybe even get like to call out whoever's the loser or winner, whatever it is, just trying to stay in the picture any way I can. And then within like 24 hours, I got a call saying that I got the fight. And I was like, I got what fight? And they're like, you're fighting Brandon Moreno in the main event in Mexico City. And I was like, fuck, all right, might as well.
Yeah, for sure. Is that a bit weird though? Like, I don't recall them ever having a backup for a non-title fight. Did that surprise you a bit?
It did, and then it was like, it surprised me, and then I was like, I don't know if they do that normally. So in my head, I was like, maybe this is something that they do, and I didn't know about it. But it also went through my head that I'm like, there's a reason they're doing this too. So I'm like, maybe they actually need me to go fill in. And I kind of had a feeling Amir Albazi would have been the one to pull out, if anything, because I heard he had some health issues going on. So yeah, I mean, I was surprised, and then I also like kind of talked myself out of like, oh shit, you might be actually fighting, so you better get ready. Right. It was only 24 hours between the two, so it was like 2 weeks of enjoying the holidays, literally eating everything in sight, and then back to the bullshit.
Right. Well, do you not think part of it too is like, who's going to fight Pantoja right now? I don't even know who's available with Kape missing weight. Do you not think as well that the winner of this could potentially get back in there, even yourself, who just fought him?
I know. I mean, I think that's that's what I'm trying to be right now. Is just put myself in a position to be right back where I was. I know I could be Pantoja. Pantoja's amazing, by the way. Like, I'm not shit talking at all, but I know I could be Pantoja. I know I'm a better fighter than I showed on that day, and I think this is just such a great opportunity to go in and just prove to the world what I'm actually really capable of. And against an opponent such as Brandon Moreno, a former champion, would be it's really everything you could dream of in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'm like, it's overwhelming, but at the same time, it's just like, pressure's a good thing. Pressure's a good thing. Pressure's a privilege, and you got to learn to enjoy it sometimes. And I'm still working on that part, but that being said, it's just like I got myself in this position. I'm fighting a former champion, and that speaks for itself almost.
Well, and you must be happy as well. The first fight, it ended in an injury, right? I know, that's one of the things too. I'm sure you're glad to get like a good result out of this, not taking anything away from what Brandon did in your first fight, but that's got to feel good because I'm sure this is a fight you wanted back at some point too.
Oh, 1,000%. It's definitely an opportunity and like a situation where I'm like, I've always kind of wanted to get this fight back. And the fact that it's a main event and it's just like, in his hometown, it's just kind of a cool way to go about it too.
Yeah, I agree. Where has Brandon improved since the first time you two fought?
I think he's improved everywhere. His striking's gotten a lot better. His hands gotten a lot faster. His wrestling, I think his IQ's gotten a lot better too. I think he's really improved everywhere. I think he's became a really good champion, a really good fighter.
Where have you improved, do you feel?
Same thing everywhere. I think my biggest improvement is my MMA IQ. I think my striking IQ, I think that's where I can kind of drown him and expose him a little bit. I think my IQ is a little bit higher than his. I think I can use my distance and a lot of cool things to make a statement out there this time.
Training camp, anything different for this camp, or how are things gone? Who are you mainly working with? Who's helping you get ready for this?
A lot of strength this camp. I normally don't really put an emphasis on strength, but I feel like that was actually something that why I lost my last fight is I really got out-muscled a lot. I mean, there's a lot of good technique things that he did, but all in all, I feel like all in all, since I've been in this flyweight division and going against like the top guys in the world, the biggest issue I've had since I've been in there is getting out-muscled. Mm-hmm. I feel like I've always kind of been the weaker opponent. And that's been at like every division so far, but especially in the flyweight division, or like I guess 35 is probably even worse. But in the flyweight division, I feel like at the top of the division, these guys are actually really strong. And strength is something that I would never put an emphasis on in my life. I always thought that was kind of like my least favorite thing to do is lifting weights. And then also I just like, in my head, it was like, I just wanted to improve technique. But then you run into a monster like Pantoja, who's super strong and technical and on the ground. So it's like, I feel like there's been a handful of times since I've been inside the UFC where I got like more like manhandle, I guess is like the better way to put it. It's just like I got outmanned and out muscled and all that.
Okay, that's fair for sure. Training partners, usual cast of characters, Jonathan Martinez, Chris Gutierrez, Yusuf Zalal, those guys you mainly working with?
Yeah, always.
Okay, that's good. And then you mentioned eating a lot after. How's the cut going? I know you always make weight, but still a little bit of a short notice.
Yeah, this one's not going to be as fun, but it is what it is. I also put on a lot of muscle this camp, and I feel like it's going to be easier to cut weight with muscle.
Did you get to enjoy Valentine's Day despite the fact that you have to cut weight for this fight?
I got to enjoy Valentine's Day in the sense of my girlfriend was in town, so that was cool. Like, my girl was in town, so I got to enjoy that. But other than that, no, not really. Just dieting and all that bullshit. I'm about to go take her for cheese and chocolates after this, and just watch her eat because I can't really do that right now.
There you go. That's a good boyfriend right there. Your corner, I imagine that the same Mark Montoya, who's going to be in the cage with you.
Yeah, Mark Montoya, Clint Mata, and I'm bringing Alex Hernandez in there.
Oh, nice.
I feel like I wanted to bring like a really big friendly vibe on this one. I feel like
Hernandez, I'm sure is. I've just heard that from not just you, but so many guys in the gym that Hernandez has been such a good addition. I know it's been a couple years now, but just the vibe that he brings, he's just a really cool guy.
Yeah, he's just a homie, and like it's just cool to have him around in that sense. Anyways, it's just like having someone to hang out with and a friend and all that stuff is fighting so serious. And I feel like I took my last camp so like too serious, where I was like I forget that I actually love doing this, and this is something fun,
How's this fight playing out? I know you feel like you're going to get your hand raised, but how do you see it unfolding on February 24th?
I'm not sure, man. There's so many ways this fight can go. Brandon's so well-rounded. But I feel like I can finish him. I feel like I can overwhelm him. I feel like there's plenty of paths to victory. And I feel like there's plenty of ways that I can win this fight. I feel like I'm going to be just as surprised as you as once it happens. So I don't know necessarily.
And we sort of talked about the division, right? Like, how surprised were you that Manel Kape, who had a full camp, missed weight for that fight? I know he had some health issues, but it seemed like kind of a missed opportunity because it seemed like Caddy beat, who did he fight? Brazilian guy. I interviewed him, Nicolau. I don't know why I forgot that. Apologies if you're watching this, Nicolau. But how surprised were you by that?
I'm not that surprised, to be honest. Manel Kape's kind of big. I've seen him a couple times. He looks like a little like, I wouldn't say he's like big in the sense of tall. He's pretty short, but like that being said, he's pretty stocky, and I know he's missed weight a handful of times already. So I'm not that surprised, honestly. I can't believe he missed by that much, but it is what it is. I thought it was really smart because I thought Matheus Nicolau was going to take the fight, and it's like at that point you have nothing to gain. You already beat the guy, and then you're going to go give up 6 pounds or something crazy, like 5 pounds. And it's like, that's a lot of no benefit to go in there with,
Yeah.
Besides, I guess a little bit more cash, but I assume what is like $6,000, $7,000 or whatever it is. It's like maybe not even that much.
Could be. I'm never been good at math. That's why I'm doing this. Do you think there's a possibility that the winner of Perez, well, more likely Muhammad Mokaev, if he wins this fight, do you think there's a possibility he could get a title shot?
I'm actually not sure. What's Perez ranked at?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even know.
It's been a while since he's fought, right? So
it's been a while since he's fought, and it's been probably like 4 years since he's won a fight too. So it's like, I don't.
Perez is 7.
Is 7? Oh, he's ranked number 7. Dang, maybe honestly.
Yeah. Because I'm just looking here, like there aren't like a ton of options there. So yeah, I was just curious because I know you're keeping an eye on the division.
I got curious too if they're gonna sign Horiguchi. I kept seeing rumors of that.
Let's hope. I mean, that would be a great addition for you guys. I mean, not for the rest of you guys, but I mean, it'd be cool to just add some more, some more sort of flair to the division, right? So.
Oh, exactly. I think that same thing with like Horiguchi, and then there's a couple other guys outside the UFC too that I'm like, it'd be cool to watch them. That being said, I would be curious to see because I feel like, in my opinion, and I could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong, But if I win, I don't think I'm getting a title shot out of it. I think I'm gonna
Right.
have to fight. If Brandon Moreno wins, even though we're in the same position, our both last losses against Alex Perez, I think they're gonna give him a title shot. I feel like
Okay.
that's just that Brandon Moreno popularity thing, you know.
I
So
understand.
in my opinion, I don't know what they have planned for March, but or was it March when Pantoja's supposed to fight?
He doesn't have a fight booked. We don't even know when he's supposed to fight.
He's already booked for 301. I heard. He just
Okay.
doesn't have an opponent yet. But I feel like if just depending on how it all unfolds,
And that would be in
is
May, I
what's
think,
going to
because that would
happen.
be after UFC 300. So that would be May 4th is the Brazil card. I'd imagine they put him on there,
I mean,
right?
that's plenty of time for anybody to kind of jump in and fight him. But
Yeah.
yeah,
On that note, any party would you ever fight at 135, do you think? Or are you happy at 125?
I'm happy at 125. I have a lot of training partners at 135. For the most part, I walk around at 145. Like I walk around 145, 140. Sometimes, if I let things go, I'll get up to 150. But never really do that much. Except for like when I got that call, I was at like 150.
Okay.
So.
And I don't know, do you pay attention to any of the stuff that's going on? You know, we've had this whole thing with Sean Strickland, sparring like influencers. Do you pay attention to any of that, or are you just so immersed in camp, you're like, I don't worry about anything else?
I've seen it. I just didn't get the point of it or like why all that happened, really, you know?
I guess he wanted to spar Strickland, but it's kind of like, I made the analogy the other day. It's like, you know, when you buy a pack of cigarettes, you know, it says the warning label, like you may get cancer after smoking cigarettes. If you're going to spar Sean Strickland, you know he's not going to go easy on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's also just like, I don't know. Who am I to say? I'm not Sean Strickland, so I don't know what was going on between those two at all.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, I spar plenty of new people. Like, there'll be someone in there that like comes to the gym or like will drive out of state and then come to Factory X and they're like, hey, can I like spar with you a little bit? And I've never just beat the shit out of somebody. I'm not 125 already, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll go touch him barely, you know? Hardly make head contact, all that stuff. But, I mean, I'm also just 100% different person than Sean Strickland, so I guess
that's what I mean. Like Strickland, part of it is he doesn't like influencers, right? So imagine someone you don't like wants to spar with you. I mean, I don't think you do that because you're obviously a nice guy, but Strickland, you know, he's different, right? So I think he looked at it as an opportunity to teach this guy a lesson, being like, you're an influencer, I don't like you, so I'm gonna like, you're trying to come into my world, I'll show you, you know, a thing or two. I think that's what it came down to, and that's why people are so mixed on it. Some people are like, look, you know what you're getting with sparring Strickland, but also like you were just saying, like if you spar someone, you're a professional fighter. It's like you have a weapon with you, like you're using that weapon, you know. So
100%, man, 100%. And it's like I feel like our sports, it's not basketball where I could just dunk on somebody and make them look stupid and all that stuff. It's like you have potential to hurt somebody, really, and it's just like there's plenty of ways that like Sean Strickland could have just, that dude did not know how to fight. You know what I'm saying? Like that guy did not know how to fight at all. And it's like you could just touch him barely and win the fight, prove your point, and do all that. I didn't really think he needed to lay into him the way he did.
yeah.
And I feel like there was like 3 people that threw in a towel too, which once again, I don't know that guy, so I don't know what goes on through his head necessarily, or like what changes from my perspective to his perspective in those situations. So I guess not really fair for me to say.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, it just looked like that guy did not have any experience at all. So it was just kind of crazy to watch him beat the shit out of him.
By the way, what's with the St. Louis Cardinals hat? Are you like a fan of them? I never even knew that.
No, I don't. I just like the red hat.
Okay, there you go.
I've never watched baseball, to be completely honest. You see me in a baseball hat, I wear like 4 different teams. I don't know. I can't name a player on the Rockies. Not one player.
I'm not a big baseball guy either. It's too
right
slow for me. You're like me. I'm more a hockey guy for sure. I like the physical sports. So
100%.
And speaking of physical, next Saturday, UFC Fight Night. Brandon, thanks for doing this. I know you're super busy. I'm taking time away from your girl right now. I apologize. But in the meantime, if there's anyone you want to thank, any sponsors, any social media, I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, EAP Glass always. Man, they've been with me from the beginning. And then thanks to all my teammates and getting me ready and trusting me to take a last minute fight. So that was pretty cool.